Can you dig it, sucker?
You're listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
A lot of comments being thrown, a lot of certain things being thrown out. Now, and the thing is, I know this young world today. Sometimes they just don't want to hear it. They don't want to talk about it, But Big Kevin Nash, a friend of mine I respect a whole lot. He had something to say about the young generation out there today and the way they do this. And Brad, you got that? You got that?
I have the quote right here. I'll read it out for everybody. This is what Nash said on his podcast. Click this, the Kevin Nash podcast with Sean Oliver. He said, the thing is, I found out our wrestling was nobody has any heat. There's nobody on the television show that I can look at and say, that person, if this was real and kicked my door down, I'd be like, oh, F, they're athletic, but they don't look like they can even throw an effing punch. I realize now that both companies do it when they go to commercial break. The action is in a small box. And I actually enjoy that more because they're going so effing fast on a large screen TV. You're like, slow the F down. It's just too fast. Nobody sells ish. And that was Kevin Nash's comments about the young generation, today's wrestling on his podcast.
Man, the thing is, I agree with him. I agree with Kev 100% as far as, we never got a chance to talk about the Jordan Grace comment she made just last week that pretty much went viral. And the comment was, about Chris Benoit not being able to work today with the young guys because he wouldn't be able to remember a match. Well, I wouldn't be able to work with him either, because I wasn't trying to remember a match. I wasn't trying to go out there and think about what spots were coming up. I was going out there trying to make the fans feel something. I was trying to make somebody cry. I was trying to make somebody feel a certain way about watching this art that we're displaying. And to do that, we got to, sometimes it gets, real up close and personal. When Kevin Nash talk about, guys not being able to throw a punch, I get it, because it's like, the guys today, they expect for you not to see them slap their leg. It's like when I go to see, a really, really good magician, I don't want to see how he do the tricks. I don't want to see how he make the woman float, levitate. I don't want to see how he, do his work. I want to be in awe, shocked and amazed when I leave. And when I watch it today, that's what I see it as. I see David Copperfield are the mind freak. That's who these young guys are like. That's who. Let me come to your area a little bit. Copperfield is mine, but you guys like the mind. Am I right?
Chris Angel, yes. He's
the mind freak, right?
He's the mind freak.
Exactly my point. You go watch the mind freak, and you for 1 second see how he do the trick. See how you feel about it. That's simple.
Here's the thing on matters of this, I diverge, or I divert to people such as yourself or Kevin Nash. I will say, even for me, which I guess I'm the target demo. Maybe I'm aging out of it though. I don't know who the target demo is, but it's, kids 18 to 35 or whatever it is. I will say sometimes I don't feel personally as invested as I used to. Now, I don't know if that's because you've watched it for 20 years and so you're not as drawn in, or is there a different symptom? You're shaking your head.
No, I'm shaking my head because that's not it. It's not because you've grown out of it. If that's the case, women would have stopped watching the soap operas.
Right.
Okay. All my children in General Hospital, they would be obsolete if that was the case. You know what I mean? Because you'd be worn out on it. The stories, man, compel you to dive in. And that's what I think. I think a lot of that is missing because now it's become gymnastics, track meet, something of that nature, opposed to two guys are let me say this. It's people trying to remember their spots,
Mm.
trying to remember, how the dance go from the outset, from the beginning all the way to the damn end. It's our spots. I never thought about, when I left the arena, when I had to drive almost 300 miles, what spots we did in the match. I had no time to think about that. Only thing I had time to think about was, did the crowd get their money's worth? And what were they going to come back next time we're in town? That's the only thing that I was thinking about. Okay. And when I hear people like, Kevin Nash and a lot of my peers talk about it today, I understand 100%. And a lot of people, may not get it, but our job was to go out there and make you believe that we were in a damn fight, not that, like one of my students, one of my students that came to my fantasy camp said, "Well, wrestling is anything, and a girl's supposed to beat up a man's supposed to beat up a girl because it's wrestling." No, it's not. We're trying to, create drama. We're trying to give you guys the best from a Shakespearean perspective as we possibly can, and then more importantly, try to make it as just I go back to Mick Foley. Okay, let's just say Mick Foley for a second. Did Mick Foley make it real to you?
Absolutely.
I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the Hell in. Let's forget about the Hell in a Cell match.
You can throw it out.
Throw that match out.
Throw it out.
Throw everything that he did in Japan, FMW. Throw all of that out. Did Mick Foley make you feel like something was going on out there?
Absolutely.
Damn right he did. Think Mick Foley was thinking about how many spots he had in his head?
No.
No way. So I'm thinking I take myself out of the equation here. I put someone like Mick Foley in one of your favorites, okay? Because I think that's what the business was then and still is today. And Mick Foley blames himself a little bit for bringing this style of wrestling to the forefront, as well as he might be a little bit responsible.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? He may have some responsibility to bear as far as that go. But when Mick Foley did it, he was the only one doing it. He was the only one going out there being that overly extreme guy. But there again, most of it was real because it was real. Can you dig it, sucker?
You're listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
What's up, this Booker T, two-time Hall of Famer. I know you're checking out The Shine, checking out The Gloss. I want to thank you guys for checking out Row on YouTube. Hey, don't forget to click and subscribe to check out all the latest content right here each and every week. Now, can you dig that, sucker?